we need a bit of positivity in the movement. I think it's fair to say that. And I've got a couple of ideas of how all of us, every single person watching these videos, can move stuff forward. And it's localization. Doing stuff in your own area. If you're in a village with 2,000 people, 3,000 people, if you're in a town with 50,000 people, you're in a city with a couple of 100,000 people, or a mega city with millions of people, you can do stuff in your local area, in your local community. And this video is in response to comments I got on the last video that I did, which was about all the stuff that's been happening, you know, all this kind of negative stuff, which I'm not going to talk about anymore. I very rarely talk about it, but I just thought things had to be addressed, especially what happened to Danny and that sort of thing. But let's draw a line under that. Localization is 1,000,000% the way forward. The little town I live in, it's a little small town in Northern Ireland, very quiet, nothing much ever happens here. It's great, very peaceful, nice place. But what we've done in this town, and I wasn't the initiator of this, you know, other people that I've known for years basically got together and started doing a little protest outside a hotel that had migrants in it. That had illegal, let's just get that right, illegal migrants in it. And I joined in, and it's been going absolutely fantastic. Built a little community, not many people, but people that are really motivated, get the problems. So that's how you can start. Start small. Get some like-minded people together. I think in view of all the stuff that's happened over the last few weeks and months and probably even years, if you do that on a local basis and you get together with people that you know and people that you've known for a long time, and you get your family involved, and it's real community coming together, then that can be very, very effective. Because obviously if you're doing things on a mass scale and you're getting lots of people involved that you don't really know, as much as that's needed and you have to do it and you have to very quickly get to know people, you can't suss everybody out straight away. Sometimes it takes you weeks, sometimes it takes you years to suss people out. So if you're doing it on a community, family basis, localized, and build it slowly, build it strong, get a firm foundation in there. This is where the pledge comes in. The pledge is vitally important to this. And one of the other comments, and my wife read it out to me, was basically people that had a pledge party. So they got all their friends round the house and says, you ain't eating or drinking anything until you sign the pledge. Now, obviously, maybe that's a little bit coercive, but hey, if it gets people to sign the pledge and they genuinely want to sign it, then that's fair enough. And obviously, I'm sure it was all lighthearted and they weren't literally, you know, holding people to ransom to sign the pledge. But anyway, on a serious note, it's a good idea to share the pledge with friends and family and people that you know, because doing it that way, they respect you, they know you. If it's family, they love you, and you're going to have a lot more chance of actually influencing them to get on board and start talking about these things. And these things need to be talked about. The stuff that we're always banging on about. The issue with net zero, disaster. It's going to be a disaster. Everyone's saying it now. It's going to be a disaster for the country. We've been saying it for years. The issue with the healthcare stuff that's been going on with, you know, from the time of the pandemic. The issue of so-called assisted dying, the mass illegal migration into country, the demographic change, all of the stuff that we've been talking about, the re-Christianization of the United Kingdom, all of that can be done on a local basis. And if we start doing that, and again, we do what I was saying earlier, we base it on faith, family and flag, faith and family first, and then obviously flag further down the pecking order. And you base it on your local community, so the family gets strengthened, the church gets strengthened. I mean, one of the big things, I was talking to Richard that works with Jeff Taylor earlier on today, and very encouraging conversation. And Richard was saying, look, he says, you know, your videos are absolutely right. We've got this, we've had this the wrong way around. Politics is important, but politics is downstream of culture, and culture is downstream of faith. When faith revives in a very deep way, it changes the country's landscape for centuries potentially. And we've got a very, very deep Christian heritage, and probably some of the best of that Christian heritage came from the Puritan era around the time of the English Civil War. Theologians like John Owen, Thomas Brooks, Thomas Watson. And their books are all still readily available. And then you look at the stream that came out of that. You look at what happened with Cromwell and the New Model Army, and then the way that after the Restoration of the monarchy, Britain thrived because it was very much based on that very conservative Protestant work ethic, right the way through to the time of John Wesley, right the way through to the great missionary movements that went out in the 1800s, time of Queen Victoria. And as the British Empire spread around the world, and again, a lot of people are critical of the British Empire. I'm not. I've been to third world countries in Africa where the people said that we had the empire back, or that we had British rule back, because they know that it was better than what they've got now. The people that were alive when they had both. So the British Empire facilitated the missionary movement, which took Christianity all the way across the globe. And you go to an African country, you'll not find too many people reading these new modern versions of the Bible. Most of them are King James only people. They read the King James version, and it's difficult for people in the first world to read the King James Bible because the language is fairly archaic. But in Africa, they read it, they love it, and they're seeing revival. So the point I'm making is localization is vitally, vitally important. If we can build strong communities, strong faith communities, strong families, all based on strong ideology, strong religious ethics, because obviously if you've got genuine Christian ethics, you're not going to be violent, you're not going to be unkind, you're not going to be cruel. So all of these things work together. And again, thank you to the guy that put the comment in the last video, because that's what sparked this video off. So I think that's a very important dynamic. Start doing stuff in your local communities, in your local areas. And obviously from time to time, we have the mass demos. Let's say, I'll not be at the ones in England for some time, but we have these mass demos where everybody comes together. We're building stuff in Northern Ireland, there's stuff building in Belfast. Again, and it's not controlled by anybody. There's nobody manipulating, nobody pulling the strings. These things are very, very spontaneous, and they are important. So yeah, that's it. Let's start localization. Let's start localizing and building local communities that are based on all the right principles that can actually save the country. I'm excited about what's happening at the minute. A lot of people are very downcast and downbeat. I'm excited because a lot of things have been shaken up. I've been shaken up. Loads of other people have been shaken up. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because when things get shaken up, well, fruit falls off the trees. See you all soon.